You've also been very critical of Tuchel since he's come in, not particularly impressed with his style, hadn't seen too many changes from Lampard. This has been his best achievement so far.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just say that I've been critical about how they've performed in the final third. Nothing else. Everything else is... You can't fault what they've done defensively. You can't fault what they're doing in the middle of the park. Previously, you could fault what they've done going forward, but to win this game the way they did, comfortably, scoring 2 goals, good movement, good passes, good finishing, absolutely 100%. You can't fault Thomas Tuchel and his team today, but you can ask questions of Atletico Madrid. I mean, this Chelsea team probably won't need to wash the strips that they had on today, because half of them didn't get a sweat on. I mean, where is this? Well, a team's mirrored by its coach. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know when we last used that, but we should never use it again, because Simeone's team doesn't mirror him anymore. This was toothless, there was no fight, it lacked spirit, it lacked everything. So I can't think of one good thing to say about Atletico Madrid, but I'll tell you what, this is not a Diego Simeone team.
No,
Dan, I was going to say, look, Chelsea haven't been the most exciting since Tuchel came in. There's no doubt about that. They've had lots of possession, kept lots of clean sheets. Most of the games have been tight. And at times it has been a little frustrating to watch in terms of, the amount of passing they've had. And as Stevie said, then it's kind of all fell flat. Not all the time, but a lot of the times in the final third. But that's not Tuchel's remit short term. His remit when he came in here was replacing Frank Lampard, was to get Chelsea in the top 4. Whatever way he could. Just get results. And by the way, that's still an if. It's not a guaranteed. But get this team into the top 4 for next season, into the Champions League. Then he has a transfer window. Then he can go in whatever direction he thinks is best. Make a run in the Champions League. Do what you can. They're not clearly not expected to go all the way here. Not saying they won't, but they're not expected to. But in terms of the way they're playing, that's kind of... I mean, they're playing okay, but it's kind of secondary at the moment, whether they entertain or they're flamboyant or it's possession-based or whatever. He's just trying to get the results until the summer that his owner, Abramovich, expects, until he can get that transfer window and try to reshape this team under him. And I think at the moment he's doing that particularly well.
Jurgen, I just want to go
Dan,
back.
if I can finish that, I don't want everybody to get carried away, with all those performances and the fact that they didn't lose for 14 games, where we had the same discussion about Frank Lampard before he lost December 26 against Arsenal, and he got worse. But at the end of the day, we were saying beginning of December, Chelsea can maybe win the league, can go far, they are fantastic. So, we are going through a pandemic, and it's really the roller coaster right now. So what we say now about Chelsea, it's perfect. I don't know what's going to happen within a month, if they lose one game. So we have to be cautious. Everything goes well, but we have to be cautious because it can happen to every team, and it happened to any teams.
Jurgen, you mentioned it when you were talking about the game, the possibility that maybe Atleti should have had a penalty. There were 2 shouts in the first half. The first one maybe a little more debatable. The second one, I think everyone was surprised that the referee didn't at least go over to the monitor.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole discussion about VAR. If I'm not sure, if I have somebody in my ear that tells me this was a situation for a penalty, I got to give it a look. And I mean, I expected him to at least walk over and look at the screen and make your decision then. And but he's a type of a referee that basically just want to have all control, meaning just he makes only the decision, which he did also with the red card at the end of the game with Savage. It was a very soft elbow jack. If you give that a red card, then you definitely have to give that actually 2 penalties. So it's definitely debatable. It's definitely something to argue about. But overall, there's no doubt about it. Chelsea was clearly the better team. They were in control. They deserved this game. They deserved to go through to the quarterfinals. And now in the last 8 in Europe, in the Champions League. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And obviously, Thomas Tuchel is unbeaten since he came on board.
Penalty for you, Craig.
Certainly the Azpilicueta one was a penalty because you always think about it. Look, and I go back to this: if he's running through in the centre circle and that happens, the referee is going to pull that for a free kick all day. The trouble is, and I don't know the personality of the Italian referee, but he's directed by his colleague. You know, whether to go. You know, I'm sure if his colleague said to him, "No, I think you should go to the monitor and have a look," he's not saying, "No, get stuffed." So I think he's been directed by his colleague on this, and for the sake of time wasting and other factors, somebody has said to him in his ear, "I don't really think that's worth a second look," and so therefore he's just allowed the game to go on. Certainly with the Azpilicueta one, but if he goes, he's probably going to go home tonight and watch that and think, "Well, I can't believe my colleague hasn't told me to go to the monitor." But he's been directed by him. That's the problem. It's not then his decision. He's been directed by other people. But I thought it should have been a penalty.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.